All right, Yerba kids, let's finish up our practice page and turn it in. So I'm back here in the ladder view. The ladder view is what we call where we can see our every page of our book because it kind of looks like a ladder, I guess. I don't know. And so if I want to come in here and edit and work on this, I would just click on this edit button right here. When you're on the page, if you would like to get back to ladder view, you can just click on this return to book view, and that brings you back here. So let's say you were working on multiple pages and you're like, all right, I've done everything I can here. I need to work on page 30 and 31 now. You would just click on that return to book view. But we need to finish editing this, and all we're going to do here is just practice adding some text. We're not actually even going to type anything. So let's talk about the text tool. Its keyboard shortcut, of course, is T. That makes perfect sense. So I can just press T on my keyboard to choose the text tool. You see my cursor now turns into like a text cursor, and it's hard to kind of line this up. So all I'm going to do is just click and drag a box. And one of the things that edesign does is it automatically fills this box with just nonsense text, which we're totally fine with. We actually want it to do that in this case. So now I just need to come in here. I don't want you to even worry about typing anything. I just want you to come in here and practice lining this text up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this text. And one thing that's really cool is you can see that the text box is currently selected. You can tell that because of the border it has around it. If you ever want to zoom into something specific, select it first and then press Control plus, and you can see by default, edesign will zoom to that. Let me show you that one more time. If I select this photo right up here, when I press Control plus, notice how it's zooming to that photo. Control 0 to go back to full screen, but I want to zoom in on the text, so I'm going to Control plus. You can see it will zoom into that. Notice a couple of things here. Notice that the text box is one half pica away from the photo next to it and the photo above it. But notice the huge mistake I made here. I know what you're thinking. That's a huge mistake. Yes, it is. This is not, the edge of the text is not lined up with this photo. I need to solve that problem by just clicking here on this little box and dragging over. Oh, that feels so much better, okay? So obviously this is just nonsense text, and I don't want you to worry about putting anything in here. But let's talk about some of the rules of text and how we decide how it should be aligned. So anytime text has photo to the right of it and not to the left of it, like in this case, we would want to make sure this text is aligned to the right. So I'm going to again click on this text box. And then I'm going to click on it 3 times really fast. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to select all of the text for me. And you can see down here at the bottom, it's a little hard to see. I've got align to left, align center, align right, or align justify. Because there is a photo to the right and nothing to the left, in this case, we want to align to the right so that this edge is lined up with that photo. Okay, so that's that. What if our text was up here? Let's throw some text in right here. Now, of course, we never ever want text to go across the gutter. So if we were going to put text there, we would stop it right there. Now, this time there is an image to the left and nothing to the right. So this time we want to align, select it all by triple clicking. And this time we want to click right here to align to the left. We also have to worry about above and below. We do not want to leave this gap right here. In edesign, unfortunately, the only way to close that gap is to type the entire caption, get it exactly how you want it, and then once you're happy, then you can move it down so that it lines up about like that. I don't have to worry about getting the bottom of the box 1/2 pica away from the box below it. I have to worry about getting the bottom of the text 1/2 pica from the box below it. So a couple of ways I could do that is I could move it down like I did and just kind of eyeball it and get it pretty close, and that looks pretty good to me. Or I could move the bottom of the text up like that. The problem is if I go too far, see how I lost some of that text? And now I've got this red dot right here. It's warning saying, hey, you've got some text that's missing. It's here, but we just can't see it because you made the text box too small. So I got to make this bigger again. You can see it's not going to quite line up. So I'm just going to manually put that about right there so that the bottom of the text is 1/2 pica away from the top of that photo. The only problem with this is that if I come in and want to add something to this caption, I forgot to put that he was in grade 11 and that he's a senior, you can see now my caption just got longer and it needs to be made bigger. So you can see that red box appeared saying, hey, that red diamond appeared saying, hey, you've got some text in here that we can't see. So in this case, what I would probably do is I'd probably just drag the top up till I can see it all again and then move it down like so. Just like that. I'd be pretty happy with that. So we have to make sure the text is aligned to the photos next to it and to the photos below it. Let me give you one more example. Control 0 to zoom out to full screen. You'll notice on this text over here, I made sure it was aligned with the top of that photo and the right or the side of this photo. If I was going to put some text over here, I would just come in here and grab my text box. And I'm going to just put it out here so you can see how easy it is to move these things around. Just switch to your selection tool, press escape on your keyboard to do that. And then you can just click and drag this over and it's going to snap right into place. And what are the odds that I would make that the exact right size? I didn't mean to do that. In fact, I wanted to accidentally make it too big, kind of like that, because this is also an issue. I don't want text that goes down below the photo. It's okay if the text goes short of the photo, like that. That is okay. But I don't want text that hangs down below the photo like this right here. So I'm going to stretch this out until the text is at least shorter than the photo. And then you got to decide. There's no real rule about whether should this be at the top or the bottom of the photo. Well, there's nothing above it or below it. So I can decide if I want it to be there or if I want it to be down here like this. I like it being at the bottom a little bit better than the top. So I will put it like that. So let's zoom out, Control 0. And that looks pretty good right there. So what I want you to do on your practice mod is I want you to add at least 3 different text boxes. You don't have to worry about typing anything in there, and make sure they are aligned correctly as I have shown you in this video. Once you've done that, you are ready to turn this thing in, and the next video will show you how to do that.